I believe that people within that company betrayed Charlie, okay? That's just what I believe right now. And I want to make sure that I have these facts entirely on my side before I tell you guys more.
Candace Owens just dropped a new podcast, and wow, she's clearly done with Erika Kirk. She's straight up convinced something shady is going on with her. What Candace uncovered might flip your whole view of this drama. You've probably felt it too, right? That uneasy feeling that something about Erika Kirk just doesn't sit right. That gut feeling? Turns out it wasn't lying. Because what's coming next proves that Candace's instincts were dead on. She's now calling out what she claims are Erika's lies, and people online are eating it up. After you hear this, you'll get why the internet can't stop talking about these wild rumors exploding around Erika Kirk. It's spreading like crazy across every social platform. But before we unpack these shocking claims, let's rewind a bit. Erika Kirk wasn't always the bold face of Turning Point USA. She used to stay out of the spotlight, living a quiet life as Charlie Kirk's wife. Everything changed when Charlie tragically passed away. Practically overnight, Erika went from mourning widow to one of the most powerful figures in conservative media. And here's the twist that's got everyone talking. Candace Owens was like family to Charlie. She knew him inside and out. Since his death, she's been side-eyeing the situation hard, asking questions nobody else dares to. She's been digging deep, pulling at threads that don't add up, and now things are about to explode. Now Candace Owens is ready to blow the lid off what she says are straight-up lies coming from Erika Kirk and her crew. And once you see the evidence she's about to lay out, you'll probably agree. Something feels seriously off here. Let's kick things off with a moment that'll leave you stunned.
I will say, if you are a rat on a ship, you should probably flee now. I recommend.
Back in April, Candace dropped a statement that barely got noticed. But if you really listen to it, it's massive. She said she was relieved that Erika Kirk had taken over leadership at Turning Point USA. Sounds innocent, right? But here's the twist. It's not relief out of trust. It's relief out of fear. Candace claimed, and I quote, "People within that company betrayed Charlie." That's not just drama. That's a bombshell. Let that sink in for a second. She wasn't talking about outside haters or political enemies. She meant people inside the walls of Turning Point. Folks Charlie worked with every single day. According to Candace, those same insiders turned their backs on him, and she's been hinting that she's got receipts ready to drop once all the facts line up. And in the viral clip everyone's replaying right now, Candace hit even harder. She questioned how Turning Point can call itself a Christian organization while ignoring the truth about what really happened to Charlie. And then, this part sent chills down my spine. She said, "Did you catch that?" Candace isn't guessing. She's claiming she knows for a fact that the same people who once pressured Charlie are now pulling strings on Turning Point USA's current leadership. That's a bold claim, but she's standing 10 toes down on it. And you know what proves how sure she is about what she's saying? She straight up dared the Turning Point USA executives to call her a liar. Publicly. She told them to put out a statement denying her claims if they weren't true. That's a serious challenge, right? But here's the crazy part. They've stayed totally silent. Not one word. If Candace was making things up, don't you think they'd rush to shut her down? Their silence says a lot more than any official statement ever could. Now, some folks tried to say, oh, maybe she's not talking about Erika Kirk specifically, but then that clip dropped. And suddenly, it was obvious who Candace was aiming at. The video shows what can only be described as a direct call-out. I can't repeat every word of what she said. It's still being picked apart by people trying to decode her message. But trust me, it was sharp and deliberate.
But what I didn't expect thereafter was for the Turning Point USA spokesperson, Andrew Colvett, to issue this statement as people were asking questions like, hey, how is that possible? How was there nothing in the back?
Every sentence felt loaded. Every pause felt planned. Viewers are dissecting that clip line by line, trying to unpack all the hidden meaning, and the deeper they look, the wilder it gets. The deeper people dig into this, the more convinced they are that Candace has real inside info about what's happening behind closed doors. Honestly, when I first saw that clip, I got chills. The way she spoke, calm but sharp, and that look in her eyes, that wasn't some random gossip. That was someone holding back serious truth. She's not tossing out wild ideas for clicks. She's hinting at something much deeper. It's like she's trying to warn everyone without saying too much. But if you thought everything up to this point was wild, brace yourself, because this next part is where Candace drops the real bomb that's got everyone freaking out. Let it sink in for a second. Candace is suggesting that Charlie wasn't just replaced, he was removed. She's implying that certain people around him, those he trusted for advice and support, actually betrayed him. She said, "There are just too many things that I'm finding out that are not adding up." That line alone hit hard. And here's the part that makes it even darker. Candace says she's discovering all of this after Charlie's passing. That means there were things happening right under her nose. Things even she, someone who was basically family, didn't know about. So what exactly were they keeping from her? And what were they hiding from Charlie himself? The Reed theory isn't just about Charlie's death. It's about everything that came after. It's about who rose to power and whether that sudden shift was part of a bigger plan all along. What Candace shared next is honestly heartbreaking. It shows just how alone she's become in her mission to find the truth. She said something so real, it should make everyone in the conservative world stop and think. It's tragic when you really picture it. Charlie Kirk wasn't just some political figure. He was deeply connected. He built bridges, boosted careers, and backed so many people in the movement. But now that he's gone, Candace stands as the only one brave enough to ask questions out loud about what truly happened to him.
So I think I would like to just respond to what is being said objectively rather than to attack Andrew Colvette's character. That aside, the statement objectively feels to me like the manipulation of a Christian audience, right? They know Charlie's audience is Christian, and therefore what they're selling to us is you should believe, you're a believer, right? As a Christian, you believe in miracles, right? Like you believe in Christ and the miracles, then you should just believe this. There's something about that I don't like. Yes, the conservative base is filled with Christians, but also the conservative base is filled with a lot of hunters, and they know weapons, and they know how weapons work, and they know how weapons don't work. And this particular statement to me does not pass the sniff test. Now, again, when I shared that information, I had assumed they were going to say the angle went through this way. I did not imagine they were just going to say that it was a miracle.
That's heavy. She even called out Turning Point USA itself, Charlie's own organization. Candace asked why they've accepted a version of the story that clearly has holes in it. She said they're not digging for answers, not demanding investigations. They're just going along with the flow and pretending everything's fine. And that hit hard. It's painful to watch because this woman is out here fighting solo for her friend's memory, while everyone else seems ready to move on under shiny new leadership. But maybe, just maybe, she's not as alone as people think. Lately, other big voices in the movement are starting to notice that weird silence too, and it's making them question everything. Even Tucker Carlson is stepping into this now. He's openly asking why Erika Kirk herself isn't demanding answers. Think about that for a second. One of the biggest names in conservative media is questioning why the widow of the man at the center of it all is staying so quiet. That alone proves Candace's concerns aren't just emotional reactions. They might be rooted in something real and unsettling. But if you really want to understand how deep this story goes, the next piece will leave you shocked. Here's something that should make everyone furious. Candace Owens wasn't even invited to Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Yeah, you heard that right. The woman who was practically family to Charlie, who stood by him for years, wasn't welcome at his own memorial. That's cold. When Candace was asked about it, she didn't hold back. She said Erika is obviously in full control, but then she dropped a line that froze people in their tracks. I would hope she's in full control, but I don't know, because I'm hearing some stories about donors that are pushing. She couldn't even finish that thought, but we all know what that implies. Candace is hearing whispers that certain powerful donors might be using Erika as a front to push their own agendas. That's serious. And here's the kicker. Now the media is starting to ask about Candace's strained relationship with Erika. Why would reporters even go there unless they could already feel the tension? The fact that Charlie's closest friend wasn't invited to his memorial says everything. It shows who's really pulling the strings now, and how far some people will go to silence anyone asking uncomfortable questions. This is a lot to process, right? When I first started digging into this whole story, I honestly thought it might just be grief mixed with wild online theories. But the deeper I went, the clearer the pattern became. You've got Candace Owens talking about betrayal inside Turning Point USA. You've got her openly calling out executives and wondering how they can even sleep at night. You've got her hinting at what she calls the Ed theory, claiming someone was placed in power that Charlie himself never would have chosen. Then there's her fighting completely alone, pushing for an investigation nobody else seems brave enough to demand. Add Tucker Carlson into the mix, questioning why Erika isn't asking any tough questions herself, and it gets even harder to dismiss. And let's not forget, Candace being shut out of Charlie's own memorial? That's wild. Each of these moments might sound small on their own, but when you line them up, they tell a story that's way too suspicious to ignore. Something happened to Charlie Kirk. People close to him saw things unfold, and now those same folks seem to be sitting comfortably in positions of power, working to keep the truth buried and the noise quiet. This goes beyond Charlie, Erika, or even Turning Point USA. It's about what happens when people stop questioning authority. When the powerful control the story, truth becomes a casualty. And right now, the evidence just keeps stacking up. Candace Owens isn't backing down one bit. More clips are surfacing, more voices are speaking up, and the pressure's building fast. More and more people are waking up to the strange patterns, the quiet cover-ups, and the suspicious silences surrounding this story. And trust me, this is far from over. If anything, it's just beginning. There are whispers of behind-the-scenes investigations, new insiders stepping up with fresh information, and some seriously powerful people who seem to be getting nervous about what might spill out next. Whether you buy into the theory or not, one thing's clear. You can't ignore the questions being raised. You can't look past the evidence that's slowly piling up. And you definitely can't dismiss the fact that Candace Owens, someone who knew Charlie on a personal level, is risking her own reputation just to uncover what really went down. That kind of determination says a lot. So now it's your turn. What do you think? Do you believe there's more to this story than we're being told? Do Candace's claims about internal betrayal and hidden agendas sound legit? Or do you think this is all just grief, mixed with speculation? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me what you think about these explosive accusations from all sides. Do you believe Erika Kirk might be keeping secrets? Or do you think Candace Owens has crossed a line in her search for truth? Whatever your take, I want to hear it in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, because this investigation is just heating up. We're following every twist, every new clue, and every voice that dares to speak out. Stay tuned for the next video, where we dig even deeper into this growing storm. Until then, stay sharp, keep your eyes open, and never stop asking questions. Because no matter how hard powerful people try to bury it, the truth always finds its way out.